Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas. Today we're back here with Nostalgia Critic. I know, been a while, but figured I'd check out some of the old films. Sorry. Or at least some of the other videos. Today, we're checking out The Punisher. So, yeah, before you ask, no, we're not going to see the no. Wait. I think that's for the TV show. I don't think we're going to be able to do that again because that hurt the throat. Well, anyway, let's check out The Punisher. And remember, this is before the MCU and before superhero films were cool. So let's check it out. Be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. Here we go.
This episode brought to you by Stamps.com. Why go to the store to get stamps when you can have them printed right at home for your convenience?
Here we go.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I
Howdy.
remember, so you don't have to. When Deadpool and Wolverine came out, it was not only a big hit, but it was also a fond farewell to the Marvel movies that weren't under the Disney name.
Makes
There were
sense.
cast members from many of the films, cast members from films that weren't even made, and even behind-the-scenes footage that paid tribute to what an impact these movies had. And this, of course, begs the question, why are we pretending these were good? Okay,
Yeah,
the Spider-Man
remember.
movies were decent until everybody hated them. Occasionally we get a good X-Men movie until everybody hated them. And, the Blade Flicks! Until everybody hated them. Yeah, most of these weren't good, y'all. But I do have to remind myself,
again,
there's a whole
early days of
generation under me
superhero
that grew
films.
up
What do
with
you expect?
these. And for better or worse, they do help shape what these people saw as comic book movies. One
It
of
was
these that
bad. Makes sense.
surprisingly gets passed over a lot, though, is The Punisher.
Yeah. Didn't think this guy got a movie, but here it is. Proof in the pudding. Proof is in the pudding.
Not because people say it was a masterpiece or anything, but the film was a big enough success that it got a sequel. And I think many can
Was it a
agree
sequel?
for a 2004 movie, it is very much a 2004 movie. You really can't watch it and guess it came out at any other year, and you could argue there's something interesting about that. But still, it's not discussed much. And I guess I never bothered to check it out because, one,
Kevin Nash.
I don't know that much about The Punisher. And two, it didn't exactly get the best reviews. But because people seem to have nostalgia for comic book movies of this era,
Why not?
I guess it does make sense to look back and see why. So let's trade a Dolph Lundgren for a John Travolta. We'll see who gets more laughs. This is The Punisher.
Punisher. Let's start.
The film opens, I think, in a Robert Rodriguez movie.
It does.
Transition us to some criminal activity.
2 years it took me. You see, Mickey, he doesn't like new faces.
Guy Pearce wearing an Aaron
What's it say?
Eckhart mask is pleased as some guns are being traded. But it turns out it's all a bust. Oh, I was so looking forward to being the French guy in the Matrix movies.
I don't even know these guys.
Things go south fast as only one of the criminals is left alive.
Oops.
Or so we're led to believe.
Gotta hate this job.
This is Frank Castle, played by Thomas Jane, who works for the FBI and, wouldn't you know it, is one day from retirement.
Frank Castle, the finest man I've ever known. What am I gonna do without you?
Get a girlfriend.
Yes, son of a tool for this. No, you're out of order, loose cannon bunch of tropes, you. Meanwhile, at evil
So many
Barbie's
tropes.
dream house, we see the bad news of the dead gangsters is delivered, and the only one left alive, named Mickey, is called in for questioning.
What might be comforting to
I.e.
me
torture.
is to watch the slow death of the man who was supposed to be taking care of my son.
It turns out one of the gangsters killed is the son of Howard Saint, played by John Travolta, who's a powerful mob boss.
The man who's responsible for my son's death must die.
Hey!
Sorry, new contacts. Did I hit him?
He wanted to go alone. He thought he could impress you or something.
Hey!
Now bury yourself. Meanwhile, friends.
Just low blow, headshot. No. Wow. Like, okay, I gotta admit, that one just like, jeez, okay, what's I expected that? I expected the guy you can kick to get shot, but no, it's just the just right up dude. This is like, that's next. You're next. Oops. Okay. But still, the whole retirement thing. Man, you expect him to die, but nope, he's still around.
Starts his retirement by going home to his wife, Maria, played by
Maria.
Samantha Mathis.
This was a hard one.
Yeah, but I said the same thing to you after Super Mario Brothers.
Woohoo.
He also has a freshly ready-to-die son named Will.
I will.
Someday when you're older, Will, I'll tell you why we had to move so much.
Second family, isn't it? No, they're my first family. You're my second family.
What?
We cut back to Saint, and you'll find Travolta is a lot of fun in this. And not in the usual Turl or Castor Troy way. He plays everything like he's seething with anger, but keeps himself calm by constantly thinking how he's gonna kill the person who angered him.
Now, I
sense.
understand your grief, but for your own safety, leave this to professionals. Professionals? Yes.
I know a professional scrotum separator looking for work. Back with Frank, he goes to a family reunion with his father, played by Roy Schneider, making a toast.
I just want to say that I'm very happy that you're all here. I'm very proud that you're all here. I love you.
Now let's all continue to be alive in the most alive way that we can. To being alive and not the other thing that's not alive.
Oh boy.
I lost so much time with both of you.
I married you. I knew what I was doing, and I'd do it again.
Till something do we part. It doesn't matter. It's never going to be an issue anyway.
Yeah, you know where this
Saint
goes.
finds out who Frank is, though, and orders him to be killed. His wife, Livia, even says, throw the whole family in there while you're at it.
Harsh.
His whole family.
Is this what you want?
He said that like, are you sure? You might get a tummy ache if you kill the
Yeah,
whole
you
family.
sure about that?
You know what I asked when I first read a Punisher comic? Why does he have a skull on his shirt? I really need that explained.
The guy in the shop said it wards off evil spirits.
It also might just look cool if you kill a guy while wearing it. Not everything needs an origin story.
True. Oh, there he goes.
The monsters, of course, find his family and start shooting him up.
Hi.
Slight delayed reaction. It's like Looney Tunes. He had to realize he'd been shot before
God.
gravity took over.
Too much.
How about a nice barbecue?
Barbecue.
Before you cooked into Michael Myers' dummy double.
Nice. The barbecue, I like that.
Most of his family is wiped out, including his wife and son. Yeah, maybe my wife and kid are under those pancakes. Oh no!
Oh God.
They shoot him as well and blow the place up. By the way, all this
Alive.
totally survivable.
Not really.
I love people who get a Passion of the Christ worth of pain always end up just limping away. Yeah, walk on one leg. That shows you're hanging on to life by merely a thread. At least now this interrupts Travolta's pipe smoking. That looks really weird.
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
asked you to
Do you think
avenge your
people
son.
smoke like that? I'm curious.
You win sex tonight. Frank is saved by a local fisherman who, I guess, heals him and lets him stay at his place for a long time, even though I don't know if they ever explained who he was. Oh,
was
wait,
he?
there's this brief moment.
People around here call him a witch doctor. Only one damn fool crazy enough to swim over there.
Well, I don't know about you, but that's all I need. I don't need any dialogue from this character or anything. I feel like I got him figured out.
Odd.
And despite Yaz being away for obviously a long time, he's still healed up like the T-1000. I mean, did you see half of this? All we got is, is that a little pink on your chest? You should look like the ending of a Ren and Stimpy cartoon. Also, wow, you got
Also, yeah, I think a lot more holes when I did like, or maybe like a, I don't know. I think Kenshiro had more scars. I know anime reference, but come on, like considering how many times he got shot, what the heck was that witch doctor filling him with? Like what?
been out long enough to grow a beard and have the police show up yet. Nobody's cleaned the place yet. Hey, officer, it's been weeks. Can we finally take the police tape down? No, some fingerprints might show up in the sand or something.
Why?
He, of course, vows revenge and loads up with as many weapons as possible. He first meets up with Mickey to try and get information out of him.
I talk to you, they'll kill me. What's the torch for?
He tells him the flame will hurt so much his nerves won't feel it at first, and all he'll feel is the cold, which leads to a pretty funny moment. Nobody told me the punishment was so silly. I love how the guy who arguably started all this probably gets off the easiest. For he tells him in great detail how the crime family works, and discovers he doesn't like the Saints either, so he decides to help.
I hate the Saints.
You're gonna help me.
I think, too, that unlike most revenge stories where the lead would let everyone still think he was dead, he pretty much announces in the least subtle way possible he's still alive.
Ew.
Which, yeah, if you cut ahead to later, you can kind of see why a lot of these people want them to think they're dead in revenge movies. Oh yeah, they want to find where you live, and that's a little easier when they know who you are. But anyway, he also thinks the police are bought off by the Saints.
It's been 5 months since my family was killed. I don't see one man in jail.
Good point. Arrest him. As you'd expect, he gets to work trying to destroy the Saints' business.
Free money!
Hey, and I thought the Democrats lost the election. He takes out the henchman inside and gives a clear message to Howard Saint. Who is it me, or does he have a very strange way of summing up things?
Maybe he's still alive because he was meant to suffer more. I don't know. He misses his family, and he wants to die. He's asking for help, so let's help him.
You're like The Godfather, written by Shyamalan. Your sentences are just a little off.
Yep, no kidding.
Even the acting here
Like
suddenly
it would be
gets a little
Shyamalan.
stranger.
We want our money back, all right? Do you want us to find another banker?
No.
Okay.
Did everyone get hit with the just a little weird ray today?
Yeah, I think so. That was
Scenes is
2004.
awkward, but still friendly neighbors are in trouble with an angry ex, so he decides to help them out.
Shouldn't play with knives.
They don't shoot bullets very well. This is Joan, Dave, and I kid you not, Bumpo.
Bumpo?
Bumpo's the... Well, you can probably figure out which one Bumpo is.
That sounds like Dumbo's horny brother. How am I supposed to take any movie with that name seriously?
Oh, okay.
Oh, also, bet you didn't know this was a musical.
I can hear what you're thinking, all your doubts and fears.
Johnny Cash?
This is like a choose-your-own-adventure, except it takes you to different genres.
Pretty much.
This is Harry Heck. Okay, how many of these characters' names are Cartoon Network shows? Who says he wrote that song for him, he'll sing it at his funeral, and then goes away. Oh, he also tries to kill him a second later.
Alright,
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't expect a series where the main character looks like this to be subtle.
Bring a knife to a gunfight.
I wrote a song about this. It goes, I'll sing it at my funeral.
Nice. You gotta admit, that was actually pretty clever. Just you gotta admit, you gotta love it, you know? I mean, again, 2004. They were just doing whatever they wanted to do. And it's Punisher. Pretty much you can make them do whatever you want. Oh, not like that, but you get the idea. Anyway, back to it. And some stamps, so...
More of Saint's businesses literally keep blowing up in his face, making his clients more angry and resulting in still kind of odd dialogue.
And Mike, if you don't like it, just remember one thing.
What?
I've got more guns than you do.
This is how 10-year-olds play gangster. Hey, I'm king of the mafia because I have more guns than you.
Pretty much.
His neighbors try to reward Frank for helping them out by making him dinner.
I'd like us to all say what we're thankful for. I'm thankful to be alive this year.
Cool, my family isn't next.
I know what it's like to try and make your memories go away.
She moves pretty damn fast for the not signals he's been giving, as he can't seem to let the past go. However, a Popeye villain enters to remind him the past isn't done with him either.
That's actually Kevin Nash, you know.
Jeez. These assassins are punch-out characters if their boxing gloves were replaced with grenades. But yeah, this is pretty fun. It's also so cartoonishly over the top. I don't think Tom and Jerry could survive this.
Hi.
Frank finally defeats him, but other men are on their way, so the neighbor...
Yeah, actually, that Russian dude, I think Russian, was actually... Okay, I was gonna say WCW star, but I think he was in the WWE at the time. That was Kevin Nash. And I remember, I think he talked about this scene where he got stabbed, like, legitly. Like, the actor was supposed to stab him with a fake knife, you know. But he stabbed so much it broke through. I'm just like, yow! Okay, why? Okay. I mean, like I said, you gotta watch it. I think there's this, I think they left this scene in there. I don't remember, but yeah, there was a point of that. Oops. Anyway.
Neighbors try to hide him.
Where's Castle? Who
Where
lives
is he?
here? I asked you a question, fat man.
Show some respect. His name is Bumpo.
Oh, Bubba. Okay.
They start ripping off Dave's piercings, and I'll just say it, a crazy difficult scene to watch. When the family getting killed is a lighter moment, that's
run
saying
over.
something. And they think because Dave doesn't talk, he doesn't know where Frank is.
Oh, there he is.
He's like a Frankenstein monster. Okay, that's a little funnier spelled out. And gives the henchman the chop.
Ooh.
Say you kill them all. Then what? What makes you any different from them?
Your friend just has face destapled. Is now really the time you want to ask that?
Wait.
Frank slowly but surely plants evidence to make it look like Howard's wife is seeing his hitman Quentin. This causes them naturally to turn against each other.
Have you lost your mind?
I give you everything, but it wasn't enough. Might live.
Well, this wasn't how I planned coming out, but got some news for you.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
You know, is it odd that the most brutal scenes in this movie aren't from The Punisher?
Yeah, no kidding.
Of course, he confronts Olivia next. I'm sure they'll talk it out.
Or just off the bridge. Bye-bye.
She could survive that. I don't think she's coming back.
Nope. Right over my train.
Dead. He died with his family.
This might sound like a weird
That's my
criticism,
feeling,
but
get that.
I think the music is a little too heroic for this character. I'm not even against him being a vengeful, blood-hungry rebel. I'm just against music scoring him like he's the 1990 Captain America movie.
Not vengeance. Punishment.
I just saw a woman get literally railroaded. This is not a charming adventure.
Nope.
I bet Orson Welles would get his lines right in that champagne commercial if this happened every time he didn't.
Oh. Come on.
The French.
Frank shoots up the henchmen, even makes some of them sing opera. Ooh, he could have an album with that voice. And he goes after Howard's other son, who left him for dead on the docks.
You look like a strong kid. You must work out. Personnel mine weighs 8 pounds. Try holding it with an outstretched arm. Hell of a workout.
I'd love to have you as my spotter.
Please don't.
Finally, he goes after the big man himself.
You killed my son.
Make that 2.
3, actually. I just found out my wife was pregnant.
Oops. Nice.
This all builds up to a gigantic, epic, guess we're done.
And now I've killed you.
They didn't even touch you yet.
Yeah, true.
Well, okay, he does drag him through a literal sea of exploding cars, which honestly just feels like an excuse to have some exploding cars. But on the bright side, look, an excuse to have some exploding cars. But on top of the effects, not exactly looking the best. It ends on this lame visual. You didn't need that.
True.
It looks like Xenomorph Garfield. For the one person flying overhead,
It's
it'll
a
be
lasagna?
Like, okay, Notre Dame, Tampa. He plans to axe himself off too, but he gets a vision of his wife saying, "Stop it." Which looks very much like a scene that was shot for something else, but I don't know, we had to edit something in there to have this line make sense.
You're right. Good memories can save your life.
I was gonna pull the trigger, but then I randomly remembered. I need to live in a world with that in it. He says he's off to punish others who practice injustice, but he left a ton of money for them before he left.
Ooh, money.
Oh good, that'll cover 1/5 of Dave's medical bills. I like the last scene. It's supposed to be the big hero moment staring out in the city like you saw in all superhero movies at that time, but because they have no music, it sounds like he's recording a podcast with no views.
Frank Castle is dead. Call me the Punisher.
Please. I'll sub to your channel if you sub to mine.
Alright.
Nah, too late. You made it weird. First you had the musical score to Steel, then you have absolute silence, and now you have heavy metal? This isn't a soundtrack, it's a random setting on Spotify. And that was The Punisher. At its worst, it's a little awkward. At its best, it's alright.
I mean, it's alright, yeah.
I think I'm a sucker for movies where a bunch of bad people get their comeuppance by a person who's been wronged. And as those kind of movies go, it has some decent moments. It does feel like a film that needed more time to flesh out its identity, as it does just go from one moment to the next without much of its own style. But there are moments that stick out, sometimes in a bad way, but more often than not in an entertaining way. If it had a little more time, I think it could be a little less generic, but like I said, there are some elements that stick out. Travolta's acting is fun, some of the fight scenes are creative, the weapons can be pretty cool, and of course, there's some really sick, twisted ways he gets back at the wrongdoers. Out of all the Marvel movies that weren't connected to the MCU, this one is the most okay-ish.
Yeah, fair. I mean, again,
I'm
in that weird time for superhero movies.
So you don't have to.
Thanks. Well,
Do you want us to find another banker?
No.
Okay.
okay. So weird. Well, anywho, there you go. Punisher, baby. Oh, man, I gotta say, they do a lot for a 2000s movie. I'm just curious to see how they would do like a Punisher nowadays. I mean, we have like gory stuff like Deadpool, so who knows? Maybe we'll get something like that. But what about you guys? What do you think would have done if we got like a modern Punisher movie? Anywho, thanks for watching, guys. Till next time. See ya.